Okay, so the internet that we all grew up with, the one built on websites and links and, clicking on stuff, it's changing. And I don't mean it's going to change someday. I mean it's happening right now, right under our noses. And it's rewriting all the rules.
So where does this all start? Well, it begins with a kind of mystery. A ghost in the machine that's popping up in web traffic data everywhere. Something is going on with the most basic building block of the internet, the click. And honestly, it's vanishing faster than anyone could have imagined.
And this number tells the whole story. 86%. In just the last year, ever since AI search features became a thing, website traffic growth for businesses just collapsed by 86%. We're not talking about a little slowdown here. This is like hitting a brick wall at full speed. And it's our first big clue that the very ground we're standing on is starting to crumble.
So you've got to be asking, where did all that traffic go? Well, it didn't just disappear. It got sucked into what people are calling the zero-click future. See, AI search engines and chatbots, they're not just giving you a list of links anymore. No, they're giving you the answer right then and there in a perfect little summary. You get what you need, and the website that actually has the information, they get nothing. No click, no visit, no money.
And if you're wondering who the new main user of the internet is, get this. For the first time in history, most of the traffic online isn't even human anymore. Over 60% of all the visits and activity out there, it's bots, it's AI agents. They're just constantly crawling, scraping, and eating up data to feed the exact same AI models that are making our clicks obsolete. It's a crazy feedback loop.
So yeah, this collapse, it's not some random accident. It's happening for a reason. It's because the entire game of how we find information and what's considered valuable online has fundamentally changed. The old rules for getting noticed, they're just gone.
And this really gets to the heart of it. For 25 years, the whole point of being online was to get a click, right? To get a person to come to your website. Well, that's over. The new goal, the only goal, really, is to be the answer that the AI spits out. We've moved from trying to get people to explore our site to just resolving their question right there on the search page.
And of course, a whole new field has popped up to deal with this. Answer Engine Optimization, or AEO. And listen, this isn't just SEO with a new coat of paint. It's a completely different way of thinking. You're not trying to get traffic anymore. Your new measure of success is getting cited, getting mentioned, basically being visible inside the AI's answer.
Okay, let's break this down a bit, because this table really shows how deep the rabbit hole goes. With old school SEO, right, you wanted to be at the top of the blue links, and you measured success with traffic. But with AEO, the goal is to literally be the answer, and your KPI is something like AI visibility. Even your content strategy gets flipped on its head. Forget those huge, long articles. Now it's all about short, punchy answers. It's a complete 180.
But here's the kicker. Just when we're finally starting to get our heads around this optimizing for answers thing, the next wave is already hitting the shore. We're moving past AI that just answers our questions to AI that actually goes out and does things for us.
And you can really see it as a three-step evolution. First, we had generative AI, the kind that creates text or images when you give it a prompt. Cool, right? Then we got AI agents, which could take it a step further and actually act on a goal, like booking a flight for you. But the real mind blower, the thing that changes everything, is agentic AI systems. These things can manage whole teams of other AIs to handle super complex projects all by themselves. This quote from the founder of Rabbit just nails it. He said, "The large language model understands what you say, while the large action model gets things done." And that's it, right there. We spent years teaching AI to understand us. Now we're teaching it to act for us. Think about it. It's the difference between a research assistant who just finds information and an executive assistant who takes that information and actually runs with it.
So what exactly is agentic AI? Well, it's not like a chatbot that just waits for you to say something. It's proactive. It makes its own plans. It can deal with unexpected problems. It can chase a goal without you holding its hand the whole way. We're moving away from AI as just a tool we use and toward AI as an autonomous partner we work with.
Honestly, the best way to think about it is like this. They're digital employees.
Just picture an AI agent that's watching your ad campaigns on like 6 different platforms. And it's not just watching, it's shifting the budget around, testing new ad designs, all in real time, every single minute, to make sure you hit your sales target, all on its own. And this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This is what's coming like yesterday.
So what happens when these autonomous, non-human agents become the main users of the internet? What does our digital world even look like then? Well, the consequences are huge. And to be honest, they're a little unsettling. It really creates a whole new world. We're shifting from what you could call a web of documents, where we humans click through websites to find stuff, to a web of agents. In this new internet, you just tell your personal AI your goal. Something like, hey, plan a trip to Tokyo for me. And that agent just goes to work. It coordinates with other agents to book flights, find hotels, make dinner reservations, the whole shebang, all on its own. And that leads to this really wild idea called the headless internet. Think about it. If the main user isn't a person anymore, if it's a machine, then why do you need a fancy visual design? The layout, the branding, all that stuff we spend so much time on, it becomes totally irrelevant. Websites are basically being stripped for parts, down to their raw data, becoming just a source for AI agents to plug into. And this is where we see the massive economic fallout. Because AI agents, they don't see ads. They don't care about your affiliate links. They don't get distracted by a cool banner on your homepage. The entire trillion-dollar economy that was built on grabbing human attention and getting us to click, it's staring down the barrel of a complete system failure because its audience isn't human anymore. But beyond the money, this creates a huge ethical problem. I mean, who's responsible when one of these autonomous agents messes up? What happens when it books the wrong flight or makes a bad trade and loses a ton of money? Experts have a name for this. They call it a moral crumple zone. It's like in a car crash. The human driver might get the ticket, but the real failure was in the autonomous system. It creates this dangerous gray area where nobody is really accountable. So when you pull all of these threads together, it becomes really clear. We're not just watching another software update rollout. This is a once-in-a-generation shift. It's the total remaking of the digital world.
And maybe nobody has put a finer point on this than the guy who invented the World Wide Web in the first place, Tim Berners-Lee. He recently described the direction the web is heading as anti-human. I mean, wow, that's a pretty heavy statement from the person who created it, and it really shows you how far it's evolving from his original vision.
At the end of the day, it's this simple. The internet was built to be a massive library for us, for humans to read and explore. But now, it's being rebuilt into a global workspace for machines to get things done. Its whole purpose is shifting from just finding information to actually completing tasks. And that leaves us with one last really big question. In this new world, in this agentic web, this headless internet, where machines are the ones doing all the work, what's our role? What is the purpose of a human when we're not even the ones doing the clicking anymore? And I think how we answer that is going to define our entire relationship with technology for the next decade, and probably a lot longer.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.